fuck. I'm so drunk, I feel retarded. I'm fucking deep.
Just saying, sometimes you get a knock on the head, you get special powers. It happens all the time.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore.
I'm talking to America here, excuse me.
Oh, yeah!
Miami has done the greatest football team. We take the ball from coast to goal like no one's ever seen. We're in the air, we're on the ground, we're always in control. And when you say Miami, you're talking super bowl. 'Cause we're the Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins #1. Yes, we're the Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins #1.
Miami. What happened?
Yeah, we didn't have Brendan on the show last night, so we didn't get to have this yet. Fuck. You know, that was a split decision I had made, and it paid off. That's just called being in sync and in tune with the comedic value of this show. Oh, I hate this. It still hurts the next day, just saying. Yeah. That was a rough one.
Man, those games sucked.
Yeah, they did. They were fucking terrible. This is my petition to start moving games when the National Weather Service says we should stop not being outside for them. Because obviously it's not good football.
I mean,
and they moved the Buffalo.
The Chiefs team just fine.
With that. Yeah, the Chiefs did do just fine, huh? Fucking assholes. But they live in that. Whatever. I'm over it. No, I'm not. I'm so not over it, as a matter of fact. But
yeah, it's what you do. What you do is, you have a game coming up in 0 degrees, so you practice inside of a dome that's 70 degrees for 5 days, and then fly there immediately before the game. That's exactly what you do.
Go ahead, Steve, because you weren't here last night either.
Oh,
ahead,
boy. What are we discussing here?
Go ahead and just get it out the way now.
Well, listen. I'm going to be a little more modest here, like I'm not going to come down onto Miami for what happened in that game. I am going to sit in the corner here and say that, Miami for the last 2 years has definitely done more in that organization than, previous years before that. You guys have had 2 winning seasons. You've ended up in the playoffs. Miami just needs to take this moment, take this off season, look back at the film, look over your mistakes, look over your errors, look over everything that went wrong, and figure out what are we going to do to fix this. What are we going to do to correct these wrongs? What are we going to do to improve our play? What other plays can we draw up that are going to get us out of the funk?
But for now, it's basketball season, baby. Yeah, go Heat. Jimmy Butler's coming out the healing pod now that everybody in Miami doesn't care about football anymore. I'm telling you, like that. That's that Heat going on a win streak, 9-game win streak. Let's go. Yeah. All right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know, man. All these Miami fans are so quick to jump right now to get rid of your players. I don't think you guys need to get rid of anybody. You guys need to bring in other people.
We can't get rid of any. Brendan, go ahead and fuck you.
Yeah. So So I was doing a little research last night because everyone in the group chat was like, burn it all to the ground, trade to this, that, and the other, draft a quarterback. I was like, let's just see what exactly the Dolphins are working with. So the folks at PFF have a great chart where it kind of shows like overall assets, draft picks, cap space, all combined into one metric. The Dolphins are last in the league. They have no draft picks that are of any value, and they're also projected to be negative $40 million in cap space next year. So not only will you not be getting anybody, Miami, you will be losing people.
Yeah.
But with someone who has no bias in this division, no outside opinion whatsoever, I say run it back. Don't change anything. Extend Mike McDaniels to a 5-year contract. I think that's the best thing for you.
You know, I also think that the other thing that they should do is, you know, take you guys like Chase Claypool, put him on the trade block. You know, try to pull other assets into the franchise. You know, like not star players, but get yourself some other average roundabout guys that you can put in that could be your
that don't have curses attached to them.
Exactly.
Sorry.
You know but they could be more backup. You know, so when you have your guys like Hill or Waddle going out of the game, you still have options. You know, you're not trying to go for Durham Smythe or Wilson Jr. all the time as receivers. You know, you have other people on the field that you know can make plays, you know? And again, they don't have to be breakout guys. They just gotta make the play.
You know what a guy that they could totally afford that would fit just great down there? Man, they should go get that Mike Gesicki guy.
Yeah.
That
guy he seems so perfect. Why didn't we think of that? That's a perfect addition to our team. I can't think of a better tight end right now.
And another thing I did notice, I didn't watch much of that game last night.
You didn't miss
Tua
much.
did get a little braver. And I did see him run out of the pocket.
No, you know he didn't. No, he didn't.
I don't know. Like I said, I didn't watch that whole game.
You saw the last 5 minutes of it. If Tua played,
no, I stopped watching. I watched the back end of the third quarter, and I was watching a little bit of the first part of the fourth quarter. I think at about like the 6-minute mark when they turned the ball over was when I stopped watching. But I seen Tua run out of the pocket.
Well, so let me give you a brief synopsis on Tua's play this last night. It was not good. It was very scared, and the only time he became brave was in the last 5 minutes, or last, I would want to say, quarter, when he was playing for his life. And if Tua would have played that whole game like the last minutes when it doesn't fucking matter, we probably would have had a more entertaining game last night. But he played like a bitch last night. I can't front it to you. I'm the guy's biggest supporter, but I'm also not blind. The guy, he played like a total bitch last night. He did. He played like a bitch last night. Disappointing to see in a playoff game.
I don't know, man. I mean, maybe that's another thing they need to work on is, you know, getting them out of that. Stop being afraid of getting hurt. You know, because I'm sorry, like,
I want to see the guy run over a cornerback next year. I want to see him run over a corner next year. That like week one, because one or two things is going to happen. One or two things is going to happen week one next year if that happens. Either he's going to fucking shatter into a whole million pieces and everybody gets what they want, another quarterback, or I'm going to get what I want, which is 2022 that was fucking decleating Jets corners, which I found to be absolutely delicious, by the way, because he's like the frame of a stick. So, like, get it together, man.
You know what? It's okay. You know, you can play like he did, and as long as there's no mean words after the game and everyone's feelings aren't hurt, That's what makes a good coach. As long as the coach is very nice to the players this morning, it doesn't say anything bad, and everything's okay.
Mike McDaniels doesn't look like the kind of guy to barrel his team like that.
Yeah, no, and that's why he's now forever, as you can see on my name and the picture. He's no longer Mike McDonald. He is now Mr. Freeze. And the reason why he's Mr. Freeze is because he makes these fucking game plans up and then he freezes them and he doesn't change anything. They didn't run the ball at all. What are you doing? They ran the ball 4 times in a row, got halfway down the field, and they're like, okay, let's throw every play now. Fuck how our running backs are getting 4 yards a carry. Who cares about that? Let's 3rd and 1, fucking screen pass. Here we go.
Did you know that Tua had more running yards than Devon Chen?
Oh, wow.
Tua had more rushing yards than Devon Chen, and it wasn't by much that Raheem Mostert beat him. It wasn't like, I think it was like a fucking 5-yard difference between him and him. Tua was a running back yesterday.
Well, I also saw, too, when Tua threw the ball in that one play and he hit the lineman in the helmet.
That ended up saving our ass.
Yeah. Not really, because nothing really happened out of that drive.
It was gonna be like a 6-yard fumble.
Yeah, but you were still in a 4th and 16 by the end of that fucking drive.
Yep. Here's what I was saying last night. We had God-given opportunities, like 3 or 4 of them, where the fucking goddamn dog, buddy, shush. He doesn't like when the Dolphins lose, so now he's all upset.
Nobody here, buddy. Quit it.
Anyway, so we had 4 or 5 God-given opportunities, like 3 or 4 of them good, where we stop the Chiefs from scoring a touchdown. We hold them to a field goal. We have no linebackers. The feat in and of itself of that. And we get no fucking points out of any of those, bro. None of those. None. We got one touchdown from Tyreek Hill, and that was it. And I'm pretty upset. This was a high octane offense.
Well, the good news is Miami fans, you don't have to worry about any of your coordinators getting hired by other teams because I'm not sure what Vic Fangio was thinking last night, but maybe after, I don't know, the 4th crossing route that goes for 20 yards, maybe you cover the crosser. And just play a little man-to-man, 1 or 2 man-to-man plays.
I mean, Eli Apple's one of your cornerbacks.
I know, but we're covering Rashee Rice. Rashee Rice, he had 130 fucking yards.
Brendan,
that defense does need some work, though, man.
Brendan, I would like you to know. I think you were going to happy to find out. Yes. I do respect Rashee Rice now. He's all right in my book. We're good. I'm sorry, Rashee Rice. I didn't understand your game. I was wrong. Oops.
And the other thing too is like I think Miami needs to start looking at maybe a different defensive coordinator because he does make some very suspect fucking calls.
Dude,
he makes some suspect calls, and I've watched way too many times this year of poor Cater Kohu getting eaten alive by freaking unfair matchups.
Because Cater Kohu's not. He shouldn't be out there against the wide 2, dude.
Right, that's my point. He's getting eaten alive.
X is gone, by the way. That's one of those people that is gone.
Yes.
He's gone. Eli Apple's gone. I don't know who else.
You know, I'm pretty
So
sure
who's gonna
there
be
are a lot
playing
of
fucking
decent
corner?
defensive players out there.
Ramsey and a bunch of undrafted free agents. Is that the plan?
More than well, we'll probably draft late in the rounds. In this year's draft, it'll probably be for the secondary, but I don't see a lot of these guys coming back. Eli Apple, I don't see coming back for sure. He played like total trash, but well, Cater's gonna be here, so there's that.
Ugh.
But X is done, and he's a big contract. Like he's gonna be the first casualty.
Oh,
Agba.
I can't wait till X signs in New England and turns into a god again. That's gonna be hilarious.
Oh,
Well, no,
since you brought up New
First
England,
off,
Brandon.
Bill's not there anymore, so I'm just saying.
How do you feel about us taking our
That
old,
whole sniping
lineman?
dolphins and shit might not be the thing you do anymore.
It will. Mayo's. It's interesting. I like the hire.
Yeah, how do you
because-
feel
He's
about
been in
that?
the organization this whole time, and even under Bill. So I mean, a lot of people were
Well,
saying it was a horrible move. I don't agree.
No, it's a great move because a lot of people gut reaction is, oh my god, Bill Belichick coach like trash, which is true. But when you look at the other side of it, of ex New England players turn head coaches, it's quite the opposite. They do really well, and I think he's learned enough from Bill to do the things that Bill was good at. But he's a very different person. He's not a very old curmudgeon-y type of person. He's very, very much a locker room guy. The players really like him.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's been with the organization for a while because he didn't coach.
Yeah, and he was really he's really been the defensive coordinator for quite some time there. They don't announce defensive coordinators there under Bill. At least they didn't. But he was the head of that defense for a long time. So that was like one of my big things with like how are they going to handle it. I didn't want them to completely lose how good the defense was because that's the one good part of the team. So I was like, you need to keep that in check. So they'll do that. I'm more interested now to see who is going to run the offense. That's bigger for me now at this point. And then people want to gripe about they haven't hired a GM or something. But I think it's hilarious because most NFL fans don't even know who the fuck any of these people are. And the reality is that all these scouts and the managers that they have now, their jobs have been irrelevant. They weren't making any decisions when Bill was there. So you don't know if they're good or not. And frankly, it's a really dumb move to fire all these people 2 months before the draft and bring in a bunch of new people. That's the dumbest fucking thing you could do. Let them fucking do it. It's not like picking at the top of the draft is extremely difficult. Okay, we're gonna take the best quarterback available. The fuck is hard about that? Because 2 of them are gonna go before you, and you take the third best one. The fuck else do you have to think about? So I don't know. I'm looking
Caleb
forward
Williams may stay available because he came out saying that if Chicago doesn't do something different, he's going to remove himself from the draft because he doesn't want to play in Chicago.
That was a fake Twitter account, and it's been going. Yeah. So but interesting enough,
Imagine if he does John Elway the Chicago Bears though.
Be hilarious. But he hasn't declared for the draft yet, and the deadline's tomorrow. That's the one thing where I'm like, and this is interesting, like overall in drafting now, like it used to be like, oh no shit, he's gonna come back. He wants to make money. That's not that's not the case anymore. These kids can actually go make multi-millions of dollars playing college football. So there is actually a chance he's like, well, fuck the Bears. I'm good. I'm going back to school for a year. I'll make $5 million, whatever.
Right.
So I don't know.
Let's see
how it shakes out.
Let's get to these games today.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, okay, before we do that, what did you guys have any thoughts on the Flacco dethroning?
It was funny.
It was. I have to give my hats off to Houston. They did a lot more than I expected them to.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like, way more than I expected them to. CJ Stroud is right now looking like a stud.
CJ Stroud making my tour look bad, and I don't like that.
You know? And
Yeah.
I mean, I still
think a lot of people
take
look
my hat
bad.
off to Flacco. I mean, I've seen some of the highlights now. I've seen he choked. But you look on paper, and you're like, there's no way this guy choked. Like, sure, there was 2 interceptions on there, but 307 yards. Like, he was throwing.
Yeah,
So,
that was the good thing and the bad thing is that he was throwing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of bad when people are fucking Booker T spin-a-rooneying on your fucking head while you're on the ground. It's
I'm
yeah,
totally
'cause
putting
like I
that
said,
in the
you
new
looked,
train.
when you
I
looked at
haven't
it
done
on
it yet.
paper, when you looked at it on paper, it looked like it was you know, as a shootout at one point. And
it was.
My dude threw a pick, and I went, oh no! And I didn't even get to like completely process the interception before the next one happened. Like, it was that fast of a back-to-back. It was just, Joe, no! What the fuck? Yeah, it was. That was.
I seen
ooh.
bits and pieces of that one too. You know, Myles Garrett freaking.
Can I ask a
rushing the
question?
crap out of Stroud.
Which one of these teams was the one that was the number one ranked defense?
Cleveland.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that
CJ
what I
Stroud said,
saw?
"Hold my beer."
But one thing is like to look out on is like not a good day for Cleveland, but that's what happens in the NFL playoffs. It's not the NBA. We're not an NBA podcast until Tuesday. Is you can just have a bad day. So I fully expect Houston to get absolutely boat raced in the next round. They're going to get fucking obliterated. Everyone's going to hammer them. Don't do it. Because I think they're going to have to play Kansas City. And I would not fucking do that. Oh, man. It's going to be fun. Rest in peace, Joe Flacco. It was a good run.
So we have Packers and Cowboys today.
Yeah, we do.
What hope does the Packers have today?
They have more hope than you think. They're actually a pretty good matchup, and if anyone's going to choke, it's Dallas. So, fun story. I went to the local grocery store today. I was buying some game day food, whatever, freezing my fucking dick off, and there's a guy wearing a Cowboys jacket, and he's leaving the grocery store, and this random fucking guy just goes, "I hope y'all lose today," and the Cowboys fan goes, "Don't worry, we will."
Well, oh no. Why do they not feel good about it? It's the Packers.
The same reason you didn't feel good going into yesterday.
I didn't feel good going in yesterday for dude, that weather. Like, I didn't like the weather. Like, at all. And it kept getting worse as it was getting close to the game. It was first it's gonna be 5 degrees, then it's 0 degrees, then it's -2 degrees, then it's -5 degrees, and I'm like, can we please stop? Was 0 not cold enough? -29, -30 wind chill. Shut the fuck up. That's fucking. People on the announcing team was sitting there trying to convince us in Miami, like, oh, it looks worse than it is. Shut the fuck up. We know what.
Bro, you see the heat coming
are.
off the top of their head.
You're saying that, and an entire plume of fucking steam is coming out your mouth. You're not convincing us. Oh, it looks worse than it is. Fuck off. This side of the end zone, though, is kind of frozen. Shut.
Yeah. I'd like to issue a big fat "I told you so." All the Dolphins fans in our group chat, they were like, "Oh, it's better that we play the Chiefs." I'm like, "No, you want to be at home." They're like, "Well, we can't beat Buffalo 2 weeks in a row." I'm like, "Still the better option." You fucking believe me now?
Yeah, I do. It sucks. Shouldn't have lost to that Titans game. Anyway, fuck. That's the Dolphins.
Yeah.
They lost. Bro.
Okay, but
We'll talk about them on Tuesday.
here's my case for Green Bay beyond the historic choking of the Cowboys. Green Bay's defense is better than you think it is. Jair Alexander is looking like he's going to play. And Green Bay's offense is way fucking better than you think it is. Because I understand people are like, oh, well, it's Jordan Love. Who do they really have? They got a bunch of young guys, but they got this dude, Aaron Jones. He hasn't played all fucking year, but he's playing now. And they can run the shit out of the ball and basically just control the ground game. Basically just play chew clock all day. But Jordan Love's been playing really good. I get he's kind of a meme, but
He is.
it's kind of a meme. But
I've just pulled up to work, guys, so I will be hopping off.
See
All
you
right.
later, Steve.
See you later. I'll be back for the post game.
All right,
Later.
but go ahead.
But I don't know. I think it's a more even matchup than what people think it is. I, again, could be extremely wrong here. I expect Dallas to win, but again, I wouldn't be super shocked. These are, and this is the reason why these games are on Sunday, minus the Bills and Steelers game. That was going to be a blowout, even with the weather. I don't give a fuck what people are saying. There's a reason why they do the playoff schedule the way they do on Wild Card Weekend, and the better matchups are late on Sunday. So both of these games should be close, allegedly close. We'll see. Wild Card Weekend is always usually filled with a couple blowouts and then 2 or 3 really good games. So I'm thinking that the 2 or 3 really good games are going to be our games today, and then the Eagles and Bucks on Monday. The Bills are going to wipe the Steelers off the face of the planet and yeet them into the fucking shadow realm. But
Jesus.
They are. It's going to be bad. It's not going to be a fun time for anyone involved on Pittsburgh. I mean, dude, they're starting fucking Mason Rudolph in a playoff game.
Come on. That would be the most. I understand what you're saying because it's probably what's going to happen. But if Mason Rudolph eliminates the Bills, just off some crazy, insane Josh Allen-esque meltdown of epic fucking proportions.
That's the one thing that can happen. He can do his turnover machine thing. And if that happens, Mason Rudolph is about to finesse a team so fucking hard next year and get so much money for no fucking reason, and it's going to be hilarious.
He's going right to New York.
He's going right to the Giants.
Oh, fuck me. Yes, you know what? I know it's not going to happen. It's crazy fan fiction. But I'm totally rooting for Mason Rudolph tomorrow.
Wait, if I can even fucking watch it, you fucking frauds in Buffalo. Dude, that game starts at 3:30 for me.
Wow. It's 4:30 for us here.
Yeah.
Trash game.
Stupid.
This is the most...
What do you think about Green Bay today, though? It's interesting. A lot of people are counting them out for no reason. I don't get it.
That's what I'm saying. So this is the most slept-on game of the wild card playoffs because history says that this matchup is full of fuckery. Like, I don't... The fact that the Packers have an insane amount of confidence, because what you said about the Cowboy fan... Funny enough, the bowling team that we bowled against was the Packers team. And those are all Packer fans. and they were insanely confident about their game. And now to hear that Cowboys fans aren't, whoa, because that's not what you would expect. Everybody seems to have Vegas has this as a fucking. What is Vegas doing with this game? As a matter of fact, I think it was like a 10-point last time.
Yeah, it's a bad spread. It's at least a touchdown. I remember that, but it's a really bad spread. But here's what we have to remember.
Vegas has this shit as a touchdown. -7.
Going into the playoffs. So the NFL playoffs is some of the most heavily bet sporting events of all time every year. They are going to steal everyone's money. That's their goal. The books want your money, and they're going to give you rat shit lines like this to make sure that happens. Now, could it happen? Sure. But I could totally see a reality here where Dallas wins by 3. And everyone who bet that spread gets fucked.
Or Packers win by 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm not willing to count out the Packers in this kind of a matchup because history says you shouldn't. Like, and I understand going by history is kind of like a lame thing to do, but with this game, you kind of have to look at their history. I think they had the Dez catch in this game, or not the Dez catch, the touchception in this game, or no, that was Seahawks.
Yeah,
they had the God, I remember it too because it was like a whole fucking comeback. It'll come to me. But there was a couple where there was just whole fucking comebacks on either side of the Dallas had a couple, and fucking Green Bay had a couple. Aaron Rodgers did some shit in this fucking matchup. Tony Romo did some shit in this matchup. Like, it's always a... Go ahead.
The one thing, like, people keep saying, that I keep seeing online too, is, oh, well, Jordan Love's never played in the playoffs. And I'm like, that's technically true. But I'd like everyone to remember the first year when Jimmy Garoppolo went to the 49ers, and people said the same shit about Jimmy Garoppolo. But what they don't realize is that motherfucker's been watching. He's been to the playoffs. He's watched how you prepare. He's seen the games. This isn't a rookie quarterback. This dude's been in the NFL for almost 5 fucking years now. He's just finally getting a shot. So it's a little different. I'm sorry. I'm not looking at him as a fucking rookie at this point.
As like he hasn't been here before, because he kind of has. You're right, he kind of has. He's watched A-Rod do it. Man, and on top of that, you're on to something, and we're going to talk about it when we get into our bets. But you're on to something with Aaron Jones, because what I've noticed is the Cowboys in the back end of the season did some shit with Micah Parsons. I noticed it in my game with them, but they're doing shit with Micah Parsons that makes him weak on an outside run. I'm not 100% what the fuck it is that they're trying to do. They move him to a fucking an outside area. He totally gets fucking beat by the fucking the back turn in the corner. Like, it's not meant. He's meant to go inside the fucking tackles and make a fucking a play on the ball way before it's formulated and on the move. And with Micah, they put him out of position. It's not fucking him that's just out of position. They're lining him up wrong, and I don't understand it. And they've not moved away from it thus far. So that Aaron Jones thing is actually, I have some props on Aaron Jones today. I haven't. We'll get to that when we cover our bet segment, but I do think that he's a key factor in this matchup. There's also CeeDee Lamb on the other side of the ball, and he's a big game playmaker.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Just because let me check Twitter, but I haven't heard anything about Alexander. I know he was working out on the field, and he looks pretty good from. I
think Jair's playing.
Of course, he's going to play.
I haven't seen anything to say the contrary.
Yeah, I'm looking at the video now where he's warming up, and he's fucking running full speed.
Yeah, so that's going to be that's an exciting matchup. Jair Alexander on CeeDee Lamb. That's gonna be a tight thing. I also think Jason Ferguson is a big part of this matchup too. This one's gonna be, I think, a way more entertaining game than people give it credit for. I think people have already counted the Packers out, except for Green Bay, which is great. Well, and Dallas is respecting the fuck out of Green Bay. But all right, so moving on to the next. This game I've been wanting to talk about because there's so much. Looking forward to this game. There's so much.
This is my favorite game of the weekend.
It is mine too. Stafford versus Goff in the playoffs.
The double revenge game. We have Matthew Stafford going back to Detroit, but then on the flip side, Jared Goff playing against the team that said fuck you and traded him away to NFL Siberia. So, man, both these quarterbacks really want to fucking win. I can't wait. Neither of these, but the one advantage I see clearly is LA Rams on defense. Detroit, we know, does not like to play defense for some reason. Not sure why, but they don't. And I get it. LA Rams, they don't really have the most stacked defense in the world, but they have a good scheme. And they got this one guy. His name's Aaron Donald. He's pretty good at football. He's pretty good at fucking a whole game. He can fuck a whole game up. I've fucking watched it, dude. So I've watched it for a long time. I used to live out there and go to a lot of Rams games. So if anyone's going to fuck a whole game up, it'll be him. It'll be interesting. Me personally, I pick the Rams. I just think they have players on defense. I really like Kyron Williams as a running back. He's really fucking good. And then you double that with having a really good tight end. And they also have Kupp, Nakua. They have Stafford. They have a coaching staff with a bunch of playoff experience. And I get it, they're on the road, but I don't believe too much outside of extreme weather differential like we saw last night. I really don't believe that much in a home field advantage anymore. I get it that oh well, it's loud. Who gives a fuck? It hasn't mattered when you look at spreads, when you look at outcomes. It hasn't mattered. So I think the Rams pull this out, and I think Detroit is a team where the organization, they're giving me just happy to be here vibes. We won the division, we're having a home playoff game, they're having a fucking parade around it basically. And it's maybe you should focus on winning, but I don't know. Maybe I'm talking out my ass.
On the respect of the Lions, the thing that does scare me is the defense, because the Rams have too many weapons. They have 2 wide receiver ones. Because Puka Nakua is a wide receiver one on a lot of teams. So, they've got 2 wide receiver ones. They've got Kyron Williams running fucking mad out here. And the Lions haven't been a team that displays much capability of stopping anything. So if they're going to win this game, it's going to be this is either going to be a 55 point game, or it's going to be the Detroit Lions defense getting ran off of the field. And I don't think there's an in between on this. So it really comes down to, what can Matt Stafford do against the Lions? And then what is Goff going to be able to do in turn to that? I feel like, yes, the game is going to come down to the quarterback.
And know what's a really interesting X's and O's battle inside of this is one of our favorite players in the NFL, because they got Kyron Williams, and the whole Rams offense revolves around that fucking run game, because that's what McVay does.
Yep.
Anal zone. This is a big anal zone game. He needs to have the game of his fucking life if they want to win today. They got to stop the run. Alex handles zone. We need you here today, buddy.
You need to be up Kyron's ass all game. You got to put him in the anal zone. In regards to all that, I know the Lions are at home, and I know the Rams are a fucking really, really, really high-powered offense going up against a really sketchy defense, which isn't a good thing. But I have a really tough time finding the Lions losing. Now, granted, the only reason that I do see them losing is because they can't match what the Rams can offer. But the Lions offense can match what the Rams can offer. It really comes down to how good that Rams defense is going to want to play today. And yeah, you're right. Aaron Donald can ruin an entire fucking game. Let's say that he doesn't. Let's say that, you know, they scheme up Aaron Donald, or they keep him contained, or, you know, he gets a couple of plays, but it's not a giant effect on the game. They've got Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery that are both running very well right now. They got Amon-Ra playing good. And then they got Laporta. Laporta is playing this game, right?
Looks like he's playing, and then got to remember they also have Jamison Williams, who is like a 99 speed type of guy. Really fucking good player.
So the Lions have weapons. Like, they can go at the Rams defense with an entire amount of offensive fury. And it's going to come down to that, because I don't see them winning the game defensively. Like that, if this becomes a one-sided affair and they can't match points, it's going to be a blowout, because I don't see the the Rams' offense is too. There's too many ways. It's death by 1,000 cuts. Like, so, this is going to be one for the books, though. I feel like this is going to be an insane game. I think we're about to see a lot of points. That would be my question.
I hope so, man, because like both of those games yesterday started off pretty good. Like Texans and Browns was like kind of a shootout for the first quarter and a half. Then everything went to shit. And then the Chiefs game was like a little more interesting, cold weather game, like halftime. I think Kansas City was only up 8 or 9 points, so I was like, "Oh, this is still really close." It wasn't as bad as Miami fans in our chat yesterday after the first quarter were like waving the white fucking flag.
That's, by the way, that, let me tell you something. That's gonna be that like that's the most aggravating thing when you're dealing with a situation like that, is that fucking. You're sitting there, you're watching the game, you're still trying to keep hope, you're trying to like, you see the 9 points, you see that it's still close, and then you go to like talk with your homeboys, and they're all fucking sitting there like it's a 5-alarm goddamn fire, like we're getting blown out, like there's no shot whatsoever, and it fucking, I hate that chat room. That's why most of the time you don't see me in there when we're playing. Because I can't stand reading it.
I know. And I was the only one in there being like pro Dolphins. I was like, it's actually pretty close. It's not bad. And then, you know, the fourth quarter happened or whatever. But I was hoping you eventually saw it. I was like, I tagged you like 3 different times. I was like, you respect Rasheed Rice yet? It was after like the second touchdown. I was like, I think you respect them.
I did see that. I was like, yeah, I guess I'm going to eat the Rasheed Rice thing, huh? Like, this is going to be... He couldn't be Travis Kelce, huh? It had to be Rasheed Rice. All right. I understand. I deserve this.
And just going back to the Lions-Rams game, I just would like to reestablish my greatest go-home, you're drunk take of all time. And if this shit is close in the fourth quarter, I'm going to be very nervous. Because I want my take to hit so bad. Like, I'm sorry, Lions fans, because that would be such a horrible, depressing ending to your season. But especially because I was like, man, Sam Laporta might not even play, and now he's playing. He's a very good chance to get absolutely molested in the end zone on a final 2-point conversion. Oh,
It's so ready. It's so alive.
it's so alive.
All right, so let's get into the betting portion of everything, so we can get ready for our games. Let me bring up the fucking sheets. So I've got a bunch today because the only one that hit yesterday was the double money bet. The one that I told you that you double your money if you bet it. That was Nico Collins over 5.5 receptions and Joe Flacco over to throw an interception, which he did a couple. So we were safe on that one. Those were safe bets. Nothing else hit. Raheem Mostert couldn't get in the end zone. That sucked. Womp womp. All right, so this is going to be the same game parlay for the Rams-Lions game that I have going. Puka anytime, David Montgomery anytime. These things have hit fucking so often that I've given up putting an anytime on Jahmyr Gibbs. It feels like once they get in the red zone, David Montgomery's putting it in the end zone. Amon-Ra over 50, that's safe. That's like super safe. You could probably go 100. I think Amon-Ra's doing crazy shit today. Stafford 250. That's gonna be a given because the Lions defense ain't covering shit with these receivers. There's no way. And then Goff over 200. This one has to happen if they want to be competitive in the game. So these are like really safe picks for me. Give me a sec here. Yeah. This is the okay, so this is the anytime touchdown AI Dan Gamble bet. So he said, and I was really confident with this before I saw it because you're gonna see I have Aaron Jones in another ticket, but according to Mr. AI guy, Aaron Jones anytime is super safe. Fourth most red zone scoring attempts Green Bay has. Jones has like 20 plus carries in 3 games straight. Rushed for 100 yards in the last 3 weeks. 100 plus yards in the last 3 weeks. Had team high 34 red zone rushing attempts. So him getting in the end zone is almost a given. And then the one that I don't, this one you can put fucking Puka here and it'll be the goddamn same thing. But Cooper scored 6 touchdowns in his last 4 playoff games. Found the end zone in 4 of the last 5 games. Has the highest number of red zone targets of any Rams receiver, and has scored 2 touchdowns in the last time he's faced the Lions. So that's nice. That's the safe one. Okay, here's I have a YOLO bet in here. That's part of it. Yeah, this is the YOLO bet. I'll get to that one in a second. This is my other anytime touchdown bet. Tony Pollard anytime, Puka Nacua anytime. Two super plausible things that can happen here. And then this is the same game parlay for the Dallas game. So I'm leaning pretty heavily on Dallas in this ticket. Cowboys to win, CeeDee Lamb touchdown. Dak Prescott 250, totally fucking possible. He's got ways of getting that done. CeeDee Lamb over 50. I lowball receivers because they either give you 25, 50, or 100, and I don't like betting 100 a lot unless I'm like super sure that's gonna happen. Jake Ferguson over 4.5. I noticed that he hits this line almost always. So
yeah, he's usually 6 a game.
Yeah, so like that's an easy one for me to bet for. Yeah, see, Aaron Jones anytime touchdown, Puka Nacua anytime touchdown. Super confident with Aaron Jones today. And Puka for the matter. Because I think that's the second ticket that I have Puka in. But okay, so let's get to the YOLO bet. Where's the YOLO bet? Hold on. That's one of them. That's part of it. This is going to be like a 12-leg bet. Yeah. All right. Matthew Stafford passing touchdowns over 1.5. David Montgomery to score 24.5 rushing yards. Jahmyr Gibbs to go over 24.5 rushing yards. Super safe, by the way. They usually hit 50, both of them. Puka Nacua over 50 and Cooper Kupp over 50. Low ball numbers. Kyron Williams over 50. Low ball numbers. We're just trying to get this to fucking move along here, all right? Lions to win. That's the one that's like, that could go either fucking way, all right? That's like the one risky leg in this entire fucking thing. Puka Nacua, anytime touchdown. David Montgomery, anytime touchdown. Nacua over 50. And Amon-Ra over 50. Like, all that could happen.
I just hate that there's a fucking money line in here. Oh, I hate that you put the Lions to win. Everything in this could happen, and then the Lions lose.
But I needed to make it like, because I wasn't happy with the winnings. So I needed to put something that was like risky to make it like the Lions money line helped me with my profit. Like, there's got to be one risky leg. But all right, so let's get to yours. This is the one that you gave me today.
Yep. This is the only bet I have for this game. I'll be betting the night game, but just later on once I know the injuries. I actually tailed down my betting in the NFL in the playoffs and start getting more in basketball. But these are props I really fucking like today. I got both Dak and Jordan Love throwing for 200 yards. I think that's definitely going to happen. Ferguson is usually a lock to go over 40. Tony Pollard, I took his rushing kind of high, but I kind of like him today. I never like him on touchdown scores because he kind of sucks down at the goal line, but having him go over 61.5, I like. And then the two riskier ones that up the odds here were Jordan Love over 10.5 rushing yards, which he does scramble a bit, but not as much as you'd think. He's mostly running around to make an opening to throw rather than rush. But I think Dallas's DBs are really fucking good. They're going to plaster on a couple different plays today, and hopefully he can scramble out. And then kind of the higher odd bet was Dak Prescott 2 passing touchdowns, which it wasn't even that high of odds. This is just a longer bet, which I seem to do better on these, but we'll see. I'll definitely have some better bets coming in on the divisional round. Wildcard games are weird to predict. They are, because they're just weird fucking games. Because let's be honest, half of these teams are fillers, and we don't really know. Are they just gonna shit the bed completely? What are they actually gonna fucking do? I don't know.
There's a couple in questionable. There was ours that was in questionable weather. It was going to be Buffalo too in questionable weather.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see. Betting is hard in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Vegas makes a lot of money. I don't focus too much on betting once we get in the playoffs. That's why I just had the one bet. I just want to enjoy my playoff football and not sweat bets the whole time. But once we're an NBA podcast, we'll have a lot of NBA bets. I bet way more on the NBA than I do football, so it'll be. And
I tail his bets, so I make money on those. The first basket bets are the funnest.
Yeah, those are they're so degenerate. It's the most degenerate fucking thing you can gamble on. Not only is this player gonna score 20 points? No, but you start to notice trends with them. There's players on certain teams that they seem to be the first quarter energy guys. I've made so much money on Jaylen Brown first basket. It has a 60% fucking hit rate. Anytime Jaylen Brown's playing, I'm all right, fucking Jaylen Brown first basket, and more than half of the time it hits. So it's fucking crazy. Hey, let's get into these Monday games for a little bit because obviously I can't be able to do a fucking pregame. I'll be at fucking work because for some reason I have a playoff game starting at 3:30 while I'm in my office. Makes no fucking sense.
Fraud
I feel
fucking
robbed.
Bills.
No, fraud fucking whatever that bitch's name is, the governor of New York. This is all her fault. What the fuck? Like you, and she's like, oh, it's unsafe to travel and da da da. This fucking communist has to be from New York City because she has no idea what the people of Buffalo are like. These people would dog sled to this fucking game and have zero complaints about it. They don't fucking care, dude. They'd gladly walk 5 miles through 3 feet of snow just so they could
go shovel it out the fucking stadium.
They're there right now. I'm watching videos of it. There's a video of a guy not wearing a shirt shoveling snow in Highmark Stadium right now.
Unfucking real. Which, by the way, since we're on the subject, did you see the fucking shirtless Dolphins fan?
There was a couple shirtless people, and they are so dumb. I've never understood that. Like, I get the whole thing. Like, oh, I'm a tough right guard. I'm not wearing sleeves because I'm playing the game. But sir, you are 45 and flubby. You do not need to be doing that. It doesn't prove anything. I also saw some Dolphins fans wearing their only hoodie that they have, and you could just tell they wanted to die.
Like, fuck, this is cold. Dude, I'm telling you, like, that's terrible. That was terrible weather. But we played in it. Fucking fucks. I'm so mad that they moved the Bill game because I was like, at first, like, they said, oh, there's no plans to move the Bill game. And I'm like, oh, please play this. I want to see, like, the 2024 version of the Snow Bowl. Like, let's do it. Because there was going to be like 3 to 5 feet of snow. It was going to be great. I miss when football was just that.
So gay. I'm sorry. I build a dome. Just build a fucking dome. If this is how you're going to be, just build a fucking dome and call it a day. I don't get it.
You got robbed of James Cook trying to run in 3 feet of snow. Not being able to see yard markers. What the fuck, man? We are so far removed from the George Carlin explanation of football. Anyway,
sad day.
Right. So Steelers Bills. It's gonna be played in Cleveland, which I'm sure fucking Browns fans love today.
Wait, what? They moved the location of the game?
No. Never mind. It was moved to Monday. I forget. That was a rumor.
Okay.
No. It got moved to Monday. I think it's still in Orchard Park. So yeah, forget that. Forget what I said about that one. Thank God for that. Thank God for the fucking Browns fans. But yeah, okay. So it's gonna be Monday in Orchard Park. They're moving it out of the fucking snowstorm. So we are in the belief that the Bills are going to absolutely fuck the Steelers wholeheartedly for 60 minutes. But is there what shot would the Steelers have to win the game?
Josh Allen meltdown. That's the only thing that could stop this. Josh Allen meltdown, because like Mason Rudolph, like the one thing that Mason Rudolph does well, even like going back to his college days, he's a really good deep ball thrower. But the thing is that even once the snow is gone, it's going to be really fucking windy. It's not good throwing weather. And they would need Najee Harris to have like a career fucking day, like a 200-yard rusher day, and then T.J. Watt to, I don't know, fucking go suck whale dicks with Aaron Rodgers, whatever he's doing with dolphins or whales, whatever the fuck, and come back and have a normal knee again. Like that was the only chance they had, was having TJ healthy, and he's not playing. Now I think it'll be one of those kind of games where they boat race the Steelers for like the first half, and then they just kind of run the ball the rest of the game. So I think it'll finish closer than what people think it's going to finish, but the Bills are still going to win by fucking 10 points at least.
I think that's actually the line. I think it's Bills by 10.
Which is crazy. And
it's Bills by 10.
Because like I said, it's weird now because of how the new seeding is, how only the one seed gets a bye week. There's a lot of really good teams playing shit teams this weekend in comparison. Like, congratulations Steelers, you were good enough to make the playoffs. That's fun. But now you get to go play the 2 seed, and you're gonna get fucking boat raced. So divisional round is when real good matchups start happening. But
oh well. Eagles Bucks. This is the one.
This is gonna be hilarious.
No AJ Brown.
I wish we would have known this during Pick'ems last week.
Yep. Me too. Me too, dude. Because, well, that's significant.
Yeah.
That's game altering. That's one of those injuries you don't want to have right now.
And not only is he hurt, he's doing that weird new NFL player thing where he's like deleting all his shit and scrubbing Eagle shit all off of, which I don't get, because someone looked into it and there's unless they get some ridiculous trade offer, there's no way he's leaving Philly. Dude, they're gonna have to eat like $20 million in dead cap if they got rid of him. So someone's gonna have to give him a dumb trade, a really dumb trade, which is kind of worth it because it's AJ Brown, depending on the team. Like, if you're the Chiefs, the Chiefs should give up a first and a second round pick to go get AJ Brown, 100%. But most teams aren't in that position to do that. So I don't know what his move is or his angle is, because it's going to be really awkward if Philly wins and then he's healthy enough to play next weekend. And then does he reactivate his social media and he's like, oh, just kidding, guys, was focusing on my rehab.
What do you think that's about?
Probably spending too much time with Matt Patricia. So,
because it sounds like his injury status is
weird.
It sounds like it's forced upon him. It sounds like he's not happy that he's not playing. That's what I read into it.
Yeah, he's probably not happy about it. Which you can't blame the guy. It's the fucking playoffs. What do you got to lose? I don't know. Philly's just weird right now. They just seem like they're falling apart.
Here's a crazy conspiracy theory, Alex Jones. I think doctors didn't clear him to play. He's pissed. And Sirianni fucking backed up Docs on that one. And if they lose this game, I don't think anybody's there. I don't think anybody that's not a player. I don't think Sirianni's there. I think that med staff is gone. Because that boy, just the way the optics looks, he wants to play and is not allowed to. And if that ends up costing the Eagles this game, I expect not just heads to roll, but every head to roll.
Yeah. And an interesting thing of that, and for the Cowboys too, if either of those teams have an underwhelming loss this weekend or next weekend, I'd fully expect one of them to really try to push to get Bill Belichick, especially Dallas. Jerry Jones is crazy.
Oh my God. Oh, no. Don't speak that into existence.
If anyone's gonna do it, it's Jerry Jones. And here's what, and people are
No.
they're very wrong on this whole Bill Belichick thing. The thing is why Bill the GM got fired. Bill the head coach is still that motherfucker. He has just lost it when it comes to making front office decisions. You put him with the team that already has the players, really good things can happen.
And Jerry Jones would do something so insane like that.
Yes,
Like,
they
Mike
100%
McCarthy,
would.
Yes, you have gotten us to the playoffs a whole bunch of times, and your services are greatly appreciated. But it just came to my desk this morning that Mr. Bill Belichick is available.
And look, and that's how every team right now that has a good roster and isn't 100% sold on their coach should be throwing money at Bill Belichick, because most windows are small in the NFL. They're usually only 2 to 3 years. You don't need this guy for the next 10 fucking years. Who cares? If you can get one Super Bowl out of him, awesome, right? So I'm looking at Philly. I'm looking at fucking Dallas. I mean, Atlanta's a team people said a lot, but I think Bill's not going to rush in his decision. He's going to wait till things smooth out in the playoffs because he wants to go somewhere where he can win.
I still think Atlanta's a cool option, though.
Well, Atlanta makes the most sense because you have a good roster. They need a quarterback, but they have a good roster, and that division sucks.
What a fucking mind blower that would be, Bill Belichick in Dallas. I'm sorry, I can't get over that.
It's a lot more possible than people think. Jerry Jones is a weirdo.
Yes. Holy shit. Oh my god. Okay, so it is 3:30. The game's starting an hour. So hopefully that everybody's got their bet. I'm gonna put them up one more time. Hopefully everybody gets their good lucks. I'm expecting a lot of money today. I think these bets are solid. I even think the 12 leg has a shot. But in case it don't, I'm not responsible for your money. Just saying. It's your own damn fault if you lose. No one told you to listen to me today. All right. See you at the... you going to do the post game?
Yeah, I'll be here.
All right, cool. All right, I'll see y'all after the post game then. Good luck with your bets today.
Peace.
Peace.